Okay, and we are live. Get a sip of this water, get my radio voice going. Bring this a little lower. I don't know why it got so high. I don't know how that happened. I didn't adjust it to there. All right, let's see who flows into this. Um, I just realized you guys can see my scented candle in the screen in the background. All right, guys, click those likes as soon as you get in. Click those likes. But it's Jason Blaha here, representing Jason Blaha Strength and Fitness. I'm going to keep these positive. I'm going to keep these very positive. I'm going to be very respectful for people. I'm not going to warn people about banning. I'm not even going to say anything. Don't ask me really weird questions. Come on, guys. If they're weird, if you know it's crossing a boundary, just don't type it. I'm going to be respectful to you guys. I'm going to be positive, and I ask for the same in return. And let's get some questions going. Let's discuss some training. Let's discuss nutrition. All right, let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it. But you guys need to click some likes. Come on now. Click the like button. If you guys click like, we get more people in here. It gets into people's feeds faster. Right? Gets into people's feeds faster, and we can get more questions. All right. I'm not going to answer any questions until those likes go up, because there's more people commenting than there are liking. Get a sip of my water. Just going to drink water till I see some likes. Not asking much, guys. Not asking much for you to click the button. I appreciate that you're a huge fan. You are most welcome. It'd be nice if people would click the button. I think the thing is, when people roll in, though, you have to be subscribed to the channel for 5 minutes before you can post in the live stream. This was a little slower than the last few had been. A lot of times we have like 30 people by now. We got 6. And it's because you people aren't clicking the like buttons. You got to engage. That's what puts it into other people's feeds who hit the little notification bell. All right. So, got my training blog up to date. I'm going to hope that my hamstrings don't cramp from sitting down here talking to you guys. I'm going to remember to keep my legs out straight in front of me. People says all kinds of gains. That's right. That is old school YouTube right there. And you know about making gains, all kinds of gains. God, this platform's been around a while. I can't believe how long I've done this. Noel Gallagher, that's what's your favorite. You know what? I'm not going to tell you, and here's why. That's a security question. See what I mean, brother? You don't answer you don't give out your security questions. People do that all the time. You see that on Facebook. See it on social media. They'll say these tests, and it's all this stuff. Oh, we answer all these questions. It'll be 20 questions, and like 8 of them are common security questions so that people can hack into your stuff, right? What do you think my favorite color is? I'm going with pink. My favorite thing in the world is pink. The thing that I love most. What do you think? Well, Supreme Gentleman, what do you think my favorite thing is? I'll give you a hint. It's pink. Shouldn't be that difficult. Shouldn't be that difficult for you to figure out. I hope I don't need to give you any more hints. All right, guys, let's get some likes going. There's way more of you watching than there are people who click on that likes and people engaging. Bulgarian split squats, useful exercise. Absolutely. It's fantastic exercise. People hate that exercise, but it is a great exercise. Will build your quad and adductors up. It's not fun. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard any good coach or lifter tell you that it's not a good exercise? Although I will say, coaches and I have compared notes on this, and we universally agree, right? We universally agree that anyone who loves doing Bulgarian split squats, there's something mentally wrong with them, even though it's a good exercise. Guys, why are y'all not clicking that like button? Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Supreme Gentleman. Well, why don't you work on that? What's the point of those natty or not videos if they call out only big juicers, but then they give a free pass to other juicers simply because they are big? I don't know. I don't watch those videos. I couldn't tell you. Right? Jason, what do you think of 531? It's decent as far as cookie cutter templates go. It's got some issues. It's not perfect. What do you think about taking a week off from the gym for a deload? I don't generally recommend that. I don't generally recommend you take a week off. I recommend that you deload if you need to deload. Is it possible to be stronger on back squats and deadlifts without something being wrong on the deadlift? I've done whole videos breaking down the 3 different variables over time that determine your ratios on squat versus deadlift. It is possible to be stronger on the squat than the deadlift if you're really gifted on the squat and you're really fat. If we're talking raw, like this means no supportive equipment that adds stuff like knee wraps, because knee wraps gets changed up real quick. Why is upper lower superior to full body? It's usually too much for you to handle. Once you're out of the novice phase, full body workouts just tend to be too much spread out too far without enough for muscles for individual parts. I think upper lower works much, much better. Plus, do you really need to be squatting 3 days a week when you're not a novice anymore? Come on. It's one of the big perks of the full body 3 day a week is that you squat 3 days a week to build a base. Supreme, there's a lot more going on there. That's probably not why you're having problems. It's probably not why you're having problems. Doing sets of squat for 20 reps for your cardio thought, it's not really true cardio though, is it? It can help with your conditioning, but it's not really cardio. Okay, guys, I got to comment again on the likes. How many of y'all are watching versus how many you click like? How many of you have posted questions who haven't clicked a like? Press the button. There we go. It's not that hard. There we go. Does getting stronger when cutting indicate muscle growth? I'm currently cutting and just reached a 500-pound deadlift. Deadlift is a different beast because losing fat can make your deadlift go up in theory. So I would not use that as the metric. Can you just do squat variations when out of intermediate phase though to mitigate volume issues on full body? So why are you trying to slam a round peg into a square hole, Noel Gallagher? Why don't you just do what we know works instead of trying to say, I want to make the full body still work as I get more advanced. So I'm going to try to come up with ways to try to force it to work. Or you could just go upper lower like a lot of the champions and good coaches tell you to do. Make your life a lot easier. Is the benefit of speed work really the adaptation you get from it, or is the fact that it allows you to recover? That's a nuanced topic. I think that the recovery is a factor. There is also the skill learning of all those first reps. There's a lot going on with speed work. However, is the recovery factor that you mentioned between max effort sessions, is it part of it? Absolutely. Absolutely. What do you think of using a barbell for Bulgarian split squats as opposed to dumbbells? Well, that's a complicated topic. I'm not going to go into all that here. Anecdotal evidence of conservative gear use over 500 milligrams and THC is making autoimmune issues worse. Haven't found much info on this on forums. I wouldn't think there's any data to support it. Even anecdotally, I haven't observed it. So if there's no literature on it and we don't really see it in the anecdote, should you really be overly concerned with it? Why would losing weight make your deadlift go up? It can improve leverages. I've done long videos on that one, by the way. Can you see you hit the light and just ban everyone who has it? Colin, that's a good idea. No, I can't actually see that. I'm doing your 5x5 novice program. I feel like I'm stronger pulling sumo. When should I switch to sumo? No, run it conventional for now. Is a vanilla latte a good pre-workout? I don't know. What's in a vanilla latte? What's in that thing? I have no idea. Would you ever incorporate shrugs and be beneficial for grit component big traps? I've used them in the past, and to be honest, I'm not overly wild about them. I mean, I've used them here or there. So you're saying, would you ever? Yeah, I've done them on camera in Vegas. I just don't think that they really bring enough to the table to justify the recovery. And for me personally, would you recommend dropping the weight, number of sets, or both in a deload? Both. You reduce the weight and the volume. If you do 5 sets of 10, what percentage of your max should that be? I don't know. Why don't you find out? You do realize that that's just a baseline to get you close to failure. So if you're going to do 5 by 10, you want the last set to be pretty much an all out, everything you have left then if you're going to do that many. So you figure out what weight puts you there. I mean, I could tell you try 50, try 60, whatever to get there. 5 by 10 is a lot though. You really want to do 5 sets of 10 on a squat or a deadlift? It's a problem with 531. Jason, how do you breathe on those high rep squats? Honestly, I saw your question in the comments earlier. I don't actually think about it. I would actually have to consciously think about it and see what I'm doing. I just try to breathe normally on those. I'm not actually consciously selecting anything. I'm just trying to breathe normal. Jason, do you see what happened? What all did he admit? What was his stack? I have no idea. If you guys want to tell me, I have some idea because I know what Richard had mailed him when he was getting all that stuff from his company. He liked Winstrom a lot and growth hormone. Would you recommend melatonin or ZMA? I recommend melatonin. I do not recommend ZMA. In terms of pure enjoyment, do you prefer one-arm dumbbell rows or seal rows? I enjoyment. I don't particularly think seal rows are that comfortable because, again, you're pressed with your chest on there. It'd be a little harder to breathe. I think one-arm dumbbell rows are more pleasant to do. Thoughts on snatch grip high pulls? I think they help my deadlift, but maybe it's only placebo from the novelty. Could be placebo. I think they're great. They're great for building your whole shoulder girdle up. I don't think there's any question about that. No, Supreme, I don't offer that sort of coaching. Sorry. You want strength training though? Put it in application. Jason, has taking up the guitar help you? It always helped when I was younger, anyways. Not a big deal. But I'm not going to go into that. I'm not going to discuss my personal life in here, guys. Thank you for the insight, Jason. You give better advice in your 10-minute Gear Talk videos than someone would find searching through some of the other garbage online for hours. You are welcome. I try to just condense those down and just give you guys some good basic stuff. And what was interesting is I started doing those. One of my clients who's a big fan of Broderick Chavez says, you really sound a lot like him in your philosophies. And I went and checked him out and realized, he and I have a lot of overlap in how we view anabolics in general. Any tips from cutting dieting to maintain strength? Cut as slow as possible. That's the best thing you can do to maintain strength. Oh, Marcel, that's just silly. That's Callie just being, being goofy. I'm not going to insult the man at that point. I'm not going to insult him. I'm going to stay positive. I think that's just being silly. Right? I mean, Callie abused stuff way beyond the norm. Plenty of people enrich their lives taking these things. Is playing guitar good for mental and intellectual health? I want to say yes, it absolutely is, but man, there's a lot of really crazy musicians out there, right there. I mean, so we could make the case for that, but no, I think generally speaking, any musical instrument, right? I think any musical instrument is good for your mental and intellectual health. Do you think there are people in the world who have to do 20 plus sets to see any growth at all? No, I don't think that exists. No, I have no idea when George R. Martin's next book's going to come out. I have no idea. I'm 6'3", 320 pounds. Now, of course, people are going to hear me reading a question out and be like, Blaha is now claiming to be 6'2". I want to get down to 250 pounds. What strength percentage should I expect to face? Colin, I don't think anyone can tell you how much you're going to expect to lose. That's going to be based on a lot of variables. Okay. Based on a lot of variables. I mean, are you 320 pounds fat, or are you 320 pounds strong? Like, are you slinging around 700-pound deadlifts? Because again, I don't know much about the frame of reference. You could be a cock diesel jack mofo at 6'2", 320. I don't know. So the bigger and stronger you are, then obviously the more strength you're going to expect to lose going down. I've had a client who was over 300 pounds who down in the 200s is stronger than he was at over 300, but he was a novice lifter. As an older gentleman, how would you advise enduring a toxic environment to a young man? Remove yourself from it the best that you can. Biscuit, in general, I'm going to ask you this question because you're going to talk about the guitar. In your experience, just observing people over the years, the guys who play the guitar a lot tend to get a reasonable amount of pussy. So without me going into any specifics of my personal life, have you noticed that on average, musicians do tend to get pussy? I mean, do you really need to ask? Yeah, Malik, that's a good point. So we need to, I just realized that also. Let's what site do you use? Studies on exercises, diets, everything? I don't have any specifics on one site. What books should you recommend besides Starting Strength? I've done these in lives. I don't want to dig my whole collection out. I've held up before, like the Science and Practice of Strength Training, all the West Side books. Those are all good ones. Best row variations increase deadlift if one can recover. I think all rows can help your deadlift. But if recovery, not being an issue, I mean, probably a barbell row is going to have pretty good carryover. You recommend rotating speed work lifts for some of my people? I do, yeah. Isn't 5-3-1 on squats and deadlifts only? 5-3 on boring bigs with lots of variations. But then we're getting into all sorts of other programs, squatting. So then you're asking me to critique 20 programs when people bring up the 5-3-1. It's just too much. Get the reps up and send Jason some stars. I think the stars are only on Facebook. There's stars on here, man. It's the supers. You guys want to donate them supers? I don't mind. Hey, man, donations are always welcome. I bump your question to the top if you do. What's the funniest trolling you received? I don't know. I don't really think it's that funny, to be fair. Coach, I'm wonder if that's a troll. I'll leave that alone. My deadlift is 550, squat 350. This is the guy who was mentioned to be in 320. Bench 315. Not that impressed for my size. So I was hoping I wouldn't lose too much strength when leaning down. Okay, if those are your current lifts and you're 320 at 6'2", I think you can keep all your strength down to 250. I think you may be able to get stronger than where you are now eventually. I mean, the weight loss process, you're probably not going to gain more. What are the benefits of opening Darko? I don't know. That's too complicated of a business thing. I'm not a business coach, man. I'm sorry. Do you consider yourself a celebrity? I don't know. Adam, I mean, how do we define a celebrity? I'm a guy who likes to make workout videos, to be honest, and gets up and plays my guitar a little bit on camera, makes workout videos. I've got a big following. I'm notorious. If that makes me a celebrity, then I guess. I don't know how we define that. Where's the line? I'm probably an internet celebrity, if we're going to use that term. I mean, but I don't know. What is the threshold by which we determine that? Is there a certain number of followers? I mean, do you ever get recognized in public? Yes, frequently. Is it a certain point when extra muscle is actually determined detrimental to health? Probably not. I mean, until we start adding anabolics, then we can make the point that you might be big enough. All right. But drug-free? No, it's impossible. You're never going to gain enough muscle to harm your health drug-free. Many old OG influencers are starting to pay the price. A lot of them are, Marcel. They are. Which also begs the question of how much were they using? Marcel, that begs the question, what were they doing? Because why am I walking around healthy? I'm in that group. One of my clients is trying to call me in the middle of a live. I need to let them know that I am in a live. Oops, wrong client. All right, hold on. All right. Sorry, guys. I'd have some of my clients to just call me impromptu. How much fat would you consider low fat on a diet of around 3,000 to 40? That's a massive margin, by the way. Low fat, I don't know, like 30 grams. I eat like 30 grams of fat, dude, on that many calories, just to be honest with you. Let me make sure. Hold on, I don't want my live to get interrupted. All right. So where are we at on these? Do you ever really need to vary the rep ranges if you're rotating the exercise variations often enough? 6 one way, half a dozen the other. I mean, in theory, yes, you can still get overuse even rotating rep ranges. Okay. I mean, so that is a very individual question as to what's going on specifically. So if you're looking for a straightforward answer there, I don't have one. The question is still going. Did this thing shut off? I hope it didn't shut my stream down. That call tried to come through because I don't see any new questions. You guys asked something? There we go. Okay. I read somewhere that Houston dude, I'm not answering that. What age do you think it's no longer possible to continue gaining strength? I have no idea. What is the scent of that candle? Cinnamon? Jason, I was watching a video from 2020, and I'd say you definitely got leaner and buffer. It's no surprise since your bench has gone up. Yeah, I mean, my bench is up. My upper body is obviously more jacked. It has to be. All right? It has to be. That's just the nature of the game. Do you have experience with someone feeling pec tendon pain from the stretch at the bottom of a pull-up. Yes. Malik says, where do you get your vitamin E? My fruits and vegetables and things, honestly. Occasionally I do take a vitamin E just to take it, just in case I have some laying around every now and then. But it's a fat soluble vitamin. You don't have to get it every day. All right. What would be the solution for a hypothetical gym goer who sleeps well, eats a lot of protein, does 15 hard sets a week, and only gains fat when bulking? I don't know. I need to see what's going on because that's not even possible. That is not biologically possible. Darko, a non-lifter who's never touched weights, who bulks, will gain muscle. You don't have to lift weights to gain muscle in a calorie surplus. So someone who's lifting weights and bulking and they're gaining no muscle, only fat, I don't think that's actually biologically possible unless they were blasting a lot of steroids and then they came off and then they start bulking. That's the only scenario in which I think biologically that scenario could happen. So it's an impossible hypothetical. Any tips for issues with bracing the core? Take a breath, contract your abs, that's it. Are saturated animal fats bad for us? In excess, yes. Is it okay to buy cheaper specialty bars? Yes. Do you think Julius Maddox will make an 800 bench press record? Are we asking me to bet on this? Like if I was going to put my money on the line of will he crack an 800 eventually? Like if I got to bet one way or another, I'm going to lean in the direction of yes. I think if anybody out there is going to pull off an 800 bench who is currently in the game, it's going to be him. And I would give him better than 50. Right? I'm going to give it better than a 50-50. I'm going to give him a 60-40 chance of pulling it off. I'm going to lean in that direction. Any truth to the idea that beta carotene, I think you spelled it wrong, conversion to retinol is inefficient? It's inefficient, but it still works. Congrats on 315 for 8. You got 4 or 5 really soon. It's going to be a fight, but I'm going to get it. No, I'm not going to show you how to use gear on live streams, Cooper. Do you think John Hack could benefit from moving up a weight class? You know what? I'm going to just be honest here. I don't think I or anyone else out there needs to be giving John Hack advice. Okay? I am not arrogant enough, even though I consider myself to be a very, very good coach. I am not arrogant enough to have the audacity to think that I should be giving John Hack advice. Okay. There's a point where we need to stay in our lane. I can only box squat right now due to persistent IT band pain. How much of a handicap is this to increase my strength on the back squat? 11-inch box. I don't think it's a handicap. If you can bring your back squat up, or your box squat up, your back squat will go up. Did you ever meet Tony Hughes? No, and I'm not interested. How old are you when you began gear? Early 20s. At some point. I don't know the exact age. Do you think it's more impressive Eddie Hall's 500 comp or half Thor's 501 in the gym? Oh man, I don't know that I want to get into that argument. Half Thor's 501 sure looked cleaner. Take it for what it's worth. Yeah. All right. Do you do front delt work on the side? No, I haven't been lately. I used to. Jason, is liquid cod liver oil better than omega-3 pills? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You need to research before you take cod liver oil. You can overdose. Coach, given your recent video on hard easy gainers, I'm considering a low fat diet. Should I expect changes in mood, energy, libido, or are those rumors false? Why would that be a concern? Okay, Anonymous, if you could please quit spamming that. I appreciate the info, but it's not helpful to me here. If there's something like that you want to tell me, you need to send it to me in a DM on my public Facebook page. But I need to remove that because I don't want that stuff in here. So I'm going to have to send you away. Sorry. Is Tony usually a good source of info? No, I don't think so. Can having your belt on too tight hurt your squat? Yes. Your belt shouldn't be tight, guys. What should I do if I can't feel my lats working on any pull movements as they never get sore? Is your form good? All right. If your form is good, then why are you worried about it? As far as discussing backgrounding, that is a very complicated topic. I'm not going to be able to break that down on a live stream. The stuff I've discussed here and there, upper and lower backgrounding are completely different. And what happens during the pull is extremely relevant regarding this. So that's entirely too nuanced for us to jump into in a live. Sorry, brother. I saw some of your older videos where you cover anabolic split. Will you do this again? I'm probably not going to do much of that. How tight should a lifting belt be? How do I know if it's tight enough? You should be able to put at least 3 fingers inside the belt without really sucking in. So just when you're relaxed, you should be able to put at least 3 fingers in your belt. If you can't, it's too tight. Any chance you'll do more video tutorials? Probably eventually. Forums, other stuff, right? Bro, I can't help your uncle with his erectile dysfunction. Sorry. What should people do to make themselves worthy of becoming a strength? Just start practicing coaching people, get experience, read everything you can and start getting experience. Because Coomer, I don't want to do a whole channel dedicated to gear. I don't think it's a topic that I want to spend all my time on. I just really don't. Is it normal for, I feel like I gave you guys the basics already on this channel. Like that's what most people need to get started. Is it normal for a right-handed person to have bigger legs and arms on their left side? It's normal for everyone to have one arm or leg bigger than the other and longer. Welcome to the species Homo sapien. Do you have clients do sumo and conventional or just one? Some clients only do one, some clients do both. Do you think the OG barbell row is superior to one-arm rows and seal rows for benching specifically? No, not necessarily. Hey, Jason, I do BJJ pretty much every day and decided I want to take it seriously. I see you advocating training in the 10 to 20 rep range with this maximized strength. No, I put my fighters on conjugate. Hey, Jason, what's your opinion on the 60-40 hamstring quad ratio strength? Do you care about this at all? Nope. Just build your hamstrings up. What do you think of Alpha Destiny's training methods? Just wondering. I have no idea what Alpha Destiny has done for the past 5 years. Has the trolls decreased as the years have gone by? No, not at all. How can guys pick up chicks at the gym? You don't. You shouldn't be trying to pick up chicks at the gym. I've told you guys that. Stop. All right. Going out on a date tonight, tips for getting lucky. Nope. Be yourself. Do you think training dynamically spinal erector bending spine is bad for the spine? No. Hey, Jason, any thoughts on in what? NMN. Well, considering I've never heard of it before and I have no idea what it is, I'm just going to throw it in the snake oil category by default. Why do SARMs even exist if they're inferior to real gear in every way, less effective, more expensive, and aren't even safer? Because they were an experimental class of drugs that didn't make the cut, Marco. They exist because I don't mean me personally, I mean scientists make new drugs all the time, and then they test those drugs. SARMs haven't done that well, to be honest. They haven't been a viable replacement for anabolics medically. So they're kind of a failed category of drugs thus far. But dumbass bodybuilders decide they're going to do them anyways because they can be quasi-legal. And then they can sell them. They can sell them. That's why they exist. Because snake oil salesmen can sell them. That alone is reason enough for them to exist and to continue to exist. Medically, there's no reason for them. How to stop flatulence during heavy squats and deadlifts? Just let it happen, man. How to figure out, that's a whole nuanced topic, Darko. And can anybody's program actually that bad? I've seen the same as the lean gains. No, you don't go say that to the lean gains guy. Oh my God, he and I had a chat about that one time in private. Dude, go say that to him and he will flip shit on you. Martin Bergam will tell you straight up that Ken O'Body's programs are not the same as lean gains, that they're watered down versions, and he'll get pissed. Dude, he will get mad at you. He will call it a lazy ass watered down version for lazy weak people. Like seriously. Like he won't take kindly to that. Trust me, I know. We've had this conversation. Hey, Jason, are your ancestors Czech? Well, based upon my last name, that is a fair assumption. And the answer would be yes. Given that I have a Czech surname. I don't hate Ken O'Body. See how easy it is, Malik? I can think that someone is putting out goofball information without hating them. I don't have any ill will or hatred towards that man. Zero. All right. Do you still have negative opinions on bodybuilding culture? I genuinely think you helped to maybe even save lives of men warning them against bodybuilding. There's definitely problems with bodybuilding culture. Okay. There definitely is. Do I have friends who bodybuild still? Yes. Do I have friends who are bodybuilding coaches? Yes, I do. Right? But I do hold negative opinions of the culture, of bodybuilding culture. And it's very obvious why. Do you like sumo deadlifts? Yeah, I think they're fine. Adam, I appreciate the compliment there. You're not the first person to tell me that. I don't have any opinions on AT. When are you putting out a video on the Slavic squat variation? I don't know, maybe. I'm impressed you record and post every workout. I know it's not a question. Oh, good, man. Ken O'Body basically removed squats and deadlifts from the lean game program. Yeah, and Martin has a problem with that. Big time. Bro, Martin is not cool about that. Do the trolls even bother you anymore? You seem pretty chill about it. I mean, life has to go on, right? Life has to go on. Do you still talk to Chris Jones? Not regularly. He's still on my friends list. He commented on one of my videos the other day. But Chris has always been cool to me. Like it would be very hard for you guys to make me think anything bad about Chris at this point. Chris has always been very, very cool to me. Yeah. Will you be doing any interviews with bodybuilders? Possibly. Possibly. All right, guys. We done hit the 40-minute mark. We done finished this up. I'm going to wind this down. I love all of you guys and gals. I hope it's been informative. And I will talk to you next time.